Hello guys, and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're gonna do a tier list. I haven't done this in a while, and I figured now with Dawn of the Dukes out, it makes sense to do a little bit of an updated tier list with the Bohemians and the Poles involved. I was looking for different tier lists, and I didn't find one with text. So we're gonna do the emblems, and we're gonna see how we do on that part as well. But either way, I'll make it a little bit shorter this time. Last time I felt like I rambled on a bit too much about each civilization, so it'll be a little bit shorter and make a few comments on each civilization, but yeah, let's get into it. So, this will be mostly geared towards Arabia, but not the new Arabia version. The new Arabia version is not great. So, like the middle is just kind of a wasteland that changes too much about how the map is played. So, think of this as the old Arabia, or what is currently like Runestones in the latter. So, we're starting off with Aztecs. Aztecs is still S tier, no question about it. Civs have probably been... People are better at dealing with Civs these days than in the past, but they're still all the way up there. Berbers, in my opinion, they are circling between A and B tier. I think they have a lot of potential, but I think at the same time, there's also glaring weaknesses at certain stages in the game. So Berbers goes to B tier. This is Britons, right? I think so. Britons... I think Britons as well, they've been considered an S tier probably for a while. But I do feel like Britons have some weaknesses and are not as easy to pull off as they were in the past. So Britons probably A tier for me for now. Now I will slap down all the civs initially, and then I might change some civs up at the end, depending how I feel about it. But yeah, you see we have no F tier, because there are no F tier civs anymore. All civs are kind of decent, so yeah. Bulgarians. The fact that you miss crossbow is a huge thing for Arabia. Again, hopefully I didn't specify, but this is mostly focused about 1v1 Arabia. So this is not team games in mind. They have a power spike, some couple of power spikes. The TCs are a bit cheaper on the stone. You have the Quay Post potential. You have blacksmith upgrades are cheaper. So you have great scout rush, for example. But you do miss that power play with crossbow transitions and things like that, but still, great civilization. I think B tier is probably where it belongs. Burgundians without Flemish Revolution would probably be B tier, I would say. But Flemish Revolution might even make them S tier, but I'm going to put them in A tier for now. They have a great opening, the economy is obviously great and everything, and the thing with Burgundians is as long as you just survive and you can make that transition to the Flemish Revolution, like, they're a great civilization nonetheless. They have cheap paladins, or the upgrade anyway. You have skirmishers with full upgrades. Like, your tech tree is great. You have bomber cannon with extra damage, hand cannoneers. And then, in the end, you can also get the Flemish Revolution. It's just such powerful spikes. So they have to go into A tier, if you ask me. What civ is this? Sorry, I had to cheat there. That's Burmese. Burmese... Getting the free wood upgrades is still a crazy good upgrade. But again, glaring weaknesses in their tech tree, missing the +2 armor. Arambai are good, but they're not what they used to be. Probably first civ that goes into C tier. Late game as well, they're not too flexible. They do have Hussar, Halberdiers that are strong. Bombard cannon. But missing that last armor upgrade on the potential archers or skirmishers is just... It's a little brutal. I think I'll drop them in C tier for now, but I might come back to them again later upon more thought. So, Byzantines. I think they have to go into B tier as well. Byzantines is one of the civs I always say I hate to play against it. I hate to play with it. Because you don't have the eco upgrades, eco bonuses, so you don't feel like you have those power spikes. But then again, cheap counter units. The longer the game goes, the better your trash units become. There's still a lot of potential with the fast imp as well. You have great monks, whatnot. And yeah, still a lot of potential with the civ, but it doesn't really have the eco bonuses where it pushes to A and S tier. So Celts, if you're Huang, you put it on S tier, but I think Huang, I call the civ Huang now. I think Celts go to B tier. Also very powerful civilization in many ways. It performs really good against certain civs, and then it will struggle against others. But B tier for sure. Wood upgrade is great. Siege, World Raider play in Imperial Age can be fantastic. Missing bloodlines for cavalry. You don't really have the best range units. Glaring weaknesses, but still. It's such a powerful early game civ that it still has to be considered all the way up there. Chinese, easy S tier, no question about it. By the way, don't mind where they are in the tier. Don't think that matters too much. Chinese, easily, possibly the best civ still on 1-1 Arabia. They just have everything. They're good at every stage in the game. They have a great eco bonus, great opening. The tech tree is, you can play anything. It's just an incredible civilization. Cumans is a really interesting one, because you now have the most recent balance change where they have stables and archery ranges costing only 75 wood. Lancers also got a bit of buff. So Cumans is hard to place. I still think they have one of the best, most cost-effective 1v1 late game compositions out there with like Hussar, Ram, and Kipchak. But whether they can be considered A tier at the moment, I'm not sure. I think I'll have to put them in B tier, but I think this is a civilization that will be figured out more over the next couple of weeks, and I would not be surprised to say that we could actually drop it in A tier at this point. I don't like the change, if you don't know. I think they're just pushing the 2 TC play, even making it even better now. So here's what it is. Okay, I have to cheat again with this civ. Ethiopians makes sense. So Ethiopians, probably A tier. They do a very strong opening. The Drush Fast Castle play is very strong with the civilization. So there's a lot of things going in their favor. But at the same time, if you do get countered, then it's like you're in a bit of an awkward spot. Because you kind of want to go for the crossbow play, but then if you get countered by skirmishers, you have to mix in knights, to mix in siege. Still, huge potential with the civilization. The power spikes with the early imp, early castle age, these things are amazing. So I think the civ is still A tier, but honestly could even possibly do B tier because their post-imperial age is still not fantastic. But I think A tier for now. This, I believe, is Franks. Franks, A tier for sure. Eco bonus is still amazing. The knight play, skirm play is still very strong. You can even go crossbow and it's still an amazing civ. Only place I feel like they fall off a little bit is like in late game once gold is kind of run out. But usually by that point you're already in a winning position or the game is already over. So Franks still A tier. I think they were considered S tier in the past. I don't even remember my last tier list. But yeah, Goth, easy C tier. There's just not much going for the civ early game, but then again, if you get into an equal late castle age game, you're probably favored against most civs with Goth. You get a castle up, you get like 4 or 5 barracks pumping. Goth suddenly is like clear favorite, but until that point, kind of an awkward civ to play. No eco bonuses really. That you get Loom instantly researched, but still no eco bonus to speak of. C tier for Goth. Huns, me A tier. Huns, honestly, I feel like they're kind of back a little bit with the cow archer change. I feel like they have potential to be considered S tier civ here as well. But you know, Huns is Huns. Flexible, dynamic, great civ for Arabia. I think they are S tier potentially, but A tier I think is where they fit right now. I don't have my cheat up anymore, but I believe this is Incas. So we're gonna have some interesting guesses here from me going forward. Incas, now that the the upgrades on the villagers are gone in the feudal age, I think Incas took a severe hit to how strong they were. Now they're just a very basic generic Arabia civ where you play like men at arms, eagles, archers. Probably C tier at the moment. Could maybe make a case for B tier, but I feel like the most recent change definitely dropped them to C tier. I'm gonna wait with this. I think it is Indians, but I'm gonna wait a little bit because I'm not 100% sure. This is Italians. Honestly, I feel like Italians is a bit of an underrated 1-1 Arabia civ. You have now the faster university researchers as well, faster and cheaper advancing to the next age. You have very flexible tech tree with Italians as well. Only thing you're missing is kind of the halberdier play to counter cavalry, but then you have Genoese, which isn't great either. I think Italians is B tier. I honestly think they're still underestimated by a lot of people in 1v1. Oh, what civ is this? Okay. I think this is Indians. I'm not sure about this one either. This is Khmer for sure. So Khmer probably goes to A tier. They have received some severe nerfs over the last year. Bomber cannon is gone, but still, the farming needing no drop-off points. Incredible eco bonus. Fairly good tech tree. Can be a little bit awkward in some cases, still, especially now without bomber cannon. But still, the eco bonus just makes Khmer so powerful. Koreans. The 1 TC all-in war wagon play has a lot of potential. And Koreans, honestly, recently with the armor upgrade on the range units for free, is quite a nice upgrade. Your wood cost on military units is also better. Koreans has to be B tier. Potential for A tier, maybe? But that's the good thing with Koreans now. You look up, you think this could be a tier higher, not this is potentially a tier lower. Usually Koreans would be down here, right? But we put them in B tier for now. Lithuanians, probably A or S tier. Has to be A tier, right? Great eco, great opening because of the extra food. You have skirms as a great counter unit. If you pick up the relics, your knights are fantastic. Now they also received a bit of a nerf, potentially, with the missing the last blacksmith attack upgrade now. But then again, they received winged hussar, which is a great unit. And Lightest got buffed as well, to the point where the missing the last attack upgrade is not a problem for them. But still A tier, for sure. No question about it. Magyars. Do Magyars go into B tier or do they go to A tier? Question mark. I think they're still... maybe they are A tier, actually. Extra attack, cheaper scouts. Fantastic late game. Yeah, I think Magyars might be warranting in... I mean, the only thing you're missing is an eco bonus. Eco bonus might make me drop it to B tier, the lack of it. I think Huns and Magyars, they're very similar, but Huns' fluidity is probably a bit better still. I think Magyars high potential for A tier, but I think they're still B tier for now. I don't know these Civs. This should be Malians. Is it Malay? Malay, Malians. Okay. This has to be Malians. So Malians... I would normally place them on A tier, but I think they've lost a power spike now that their gold is longer lasting instead of faster coming in. So you used to get the gold mining upgrade for free, that's now gone. Instead your gold mines last 30% longer. It is better long term, but the issue is your long term gameplay is worse. So now that you don't have the early gold income anymore, they're a little bit worse. But their late game tech tree is also still very awkward. Still cheap cost on the every building. Wood discount is great, but I think now they are B tier. Yeah. I believe this is Malay. I could be completely wrong, but we're gonna go with it. Malay, still a civ with massive potential. Very hard to play against sometimes. Very hard to play as well, because they're still not properly figured out how exactly to play them. But still, massive potential with the early advancing to the next age spikes. And they have the very cost-effective 1v1 composition, right? You have bomber cannons, halberdiers, arbalest, which is kind of the go-to. Karambits now are honestly pretty good with the buff they got, an extra attack, I think. So, I think they are considered B tier right now. Mayans. Instant S tier again, and Mayans is still just an amazing civilization in every way. You have the fantastic eco warriors, eco bonus is incredible, cheaper archers. Like, Mayans is like the design civ to play 1v1 Arabia. Cost effective, great eco bonus, and you have access, like bonuses within the techs you want to play. It's just an amazing civ overall. Mongols, B tier, great hunting bonus. If you get to the Mangudai at some point, you're in a very good spot. Dangerous with early feudal age, but they kind of fall off a little bit in mid-castle age to an also early imperial age, because you want to make that Mangudai switch, and that takes time. So it has to be B tier for me. Portuguese, just kidding. Portuguese is a tricky one. They've received a lot of nice buffs to the point where they are a fairly good civ now, but still you feel like they don't reach up to the other top civilizations. I would place them on B tier for now. The gold discount is a really good upgrade actually. You have a flexible tech tree and also good late game with even Feitoria as an option. But yeah, it's hard to say exactly. But I think B tier is where Portuguese belong right now. Sicilians, now they are a tricky one. They just received a technology called Hauberk, where their Cavalier now are insanely good, and that's kind of already the tech you want to play. So I feel like Sicilians is very much a one-trick pony at the moment, but that one-trick pony is very, very good. So probably B tier for them. Also the unique unit of Sicilian, the Sergeants, are pretty damn good actually. So yeah, we can't sleep on Sicilians. They could easily be jumping up a tier as well, the more they get played. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that. This, I believe, is Saracens. I think Saracens also goes to B tier. They're a very tricky civ to play against in particular. You never know what's gonna come. The market abuse potential. They can't play stable units. They can't play range units, cav archers. You don't see Mimalukes very often, but still, considering the potential they have to make tricky plays, they're a B tier civ for sure. Yeah, I believe this is Slavs. Slavs probably goes to B tier as well. They do have a great economy. It's kind of what's carrying them, right? They have a great economy. Tech tree is not that great, especially 1v1 as the game goes on. But because of the economy advantage you get usually with the farming, it's still a very good civ. So it has to go B tier. Cannot see it go below B tier. And probably not reach A tier either. Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. Is this Persians? I'm not sure. Okay, this has to be Spanish. Spanish goes to C tier for me. They are, if you get conquistadors rolling, they are a very good civilization, but they don't have anything else, right? You're kind of forced into playing scouts, into knights, maybe skirmishers, and then conquistadors. There is simply no other way to play Spanish. Although I have to say, their late game is fantastic. You have full upgrades in the blacksmith, you have halberdier, skirmishers, hussar, siege ram, bomber cannon. They're an amazing civ in late game. You have the strong villagers as well. But the issue is just getting there without falling behind. Therefore Spanish has to go to C tier. Now this has to be Persians, right? This goes alphabetically as well. This has to be Persian, so we'll go with that. Persians is a weird one. They've always felt underwhelming, but at the same time, when you look at their bonuses and their tech tree, they're still probably a fairly good civilization. Late game is a bit awkward though, missing bracer, but then again you get the trash bows where the crossbows only cost wood. I think Persians might have to go into B tier. You have a good opening, you have a flexible tech tree. But Persian is a civ, I'm looking down. If I'm going to change the tier, I'm looking down, not upwards. So, but for now I'll put them B tier, but I think there is a chance they might belong in C tier as well. Tatars. Tatars for me hovers between S and A tier. They have amazing potential. The Keshik is amazing. Cav archers are amazing. Bill bonus, eco bonus, sheep lasting longer. Getting sheep upon building town centers. There's just so many bonuses now for Tatars. They're also really good for 1v1 because they have very cost-effective compositions. Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm gonna leave it on A tier for now, but I think Tatars might be S tier. Teutons for 1v1 Arabia. It's also B or C tier. Farm bonus is amazing, don't get me wrong, but you're so limited in your tech tree. Even the unit you kind of have to play, the knights, don't have husbandry, so they also feel underwhelming. But there's still a lot of potential to use the farm bonus to get advantages elsewhere, so think Teutons goes to B tier, but yeah, if we're looking for another tier, it has to be C tier. By the way, Teutons, if you're playing any civilization that lacks bombard cannon, if you get to like a halberdier siege archer composition, and where raiding isn't that important in the game, Teutons probably really, really good. So look out for that composition there. Turks. Turks for me could possibly be A tier right now. They've given Turks a lot of upgrades now. Like the Hussar is amazing. You have extra armor even in the feudal age on your scouts. You get light cap Hussar for free. They even gave you bomber towers now. You can research bomber towers without spending stone. It's only a wooden food cost, so that's incredible. You get chemistry for free. You have 14 range bomber cannons. The cav archers are strong. It's an amazing civ right now. Turks for me borderline A tier. But I think looking at the other civs we have in B tier, probably B tier is where Turks belong as well, because you don't really have an eco bonus still. But Turks are an amazing civ at the moment. Vietnamese. They're also civ that feel very underwhelming in many ways. But at the same time, they still have the cost-effective 1-1 composition. But the archers are obviously great. Halberdiers. Eco bonus is very good. So I think Vietnamese safely sit on B tier. Yeah. Vikings probably has to be A tier. Getting wheelbarrow, getting handcart for free. Still just so dominant. And Vikings are so easy to play. You just go Drush, Fast Castle, Crossbows. You go Men at Arms into Archers. You cannot go wrong no matter what. And you're always going to be ahead in the economy unless obviously the game goes wrong early on. And then the early Imperial Age is kind of the killer move against most civilizations. So I think A tier for sure for Vikings, maybe even S tier. Right, I'm gonna have to just think about what civs are we missing right now. Sorry, bear with me here. 1 second. So I'm just worried I have labeled some civilizations. Indians. This is Indians, yeah, confirmed. Okay, Indians. Indians do have an insane eco bonus with the cheaper villagers, but at the same time, it's your tech tree is the killer for you because you don't have they removed also the last armor upgrade for cavalry, right? Meaning your hussar are worse in theory as the game goes on. You do have good cav archers, you do have skirms with full upgrades, bomber cannon, hand cannoners, halberdiers. We're missing the siege ram, you have I feel like Indians played correctly could compete with a lot of civilizations, but you're still struggling a lot, in particular against halberdier civs, siege rams, these types of civs. But then again, I still think they have to be placed in B tier, although one could argue for C tier. For example, here we have Goth and C tier, but I would rather have Goth than Indians probably in that matchup. But yeah, it's a hard one to judge. So I need to figure out what civs I'm missing here. This is Japanese. Japanese, they do have, of course, mills, mining camps, lumber camps being cheaper helps a lot in the early game. You now have bloodlines on your cavalry for you've been having that for a while already. Cow archers are great. It has to be B tier. Men at Arms opening very strong. This is also a civ that I would probably look upwards rather than downwards if I'm changing the tier. A lot of potential with the Japanese play styles in 1v1. Kind of very, very flexible and dynamic tech tree as well for early game. But late game, bomber cannon missing is a problem. And you don't really have the best cavalry as the game goes on. But I think they're still comfortably B tier. And that leaves us with Bohemians and Poles left. The two new civilizations introduced in the Dawn of the Dukes. And this is the moment. I think... By the way, I'm just looking at my S and A tier list now. I think Vikings could easily be S tier. I think Burgundians could be S tier, honestly. Britons could be S tier. But right now I feel like Chinese and the Mesocivs are just so good. That they are kind of on the level on their own for the most part. But yeah, let's get to it. Bohemians. I call them Bohemians because I just find them so gimmicky in many ways. You get the mining upgrades for free, which is insane. The unique unit is still to be figured out. Of course, these are new civs. We don't know the best way to play them yet. You get chemistry in the Castle Age, engineers in the Castle Age. I think there's a lot of potential, but I think it's B tier. I don't think they're that broken. A lot of people think they're broken potentially. They're an amazing arena civ. You have the monastery, the trash monks, you can say. There are a lot of things good about the civ. I don't think it goes down, but for 101 Arabia, I don't think it's higher than B tier at the moment. There's a chance once it gets more figured out that we might see it make a jump to A tier, but I would personally place it on B tier for now. Then again, you have a lot of bonuses going for you. Meme bonuses. So yeah, this could easily be A tier as well, I think. But for now, I would put it on B tier. And then the last civilization would be the Poles. I think Poles already go straight to A tier. They feel really nice to play. The Folvark seems great. It's a nice boost to your economy. The Winged Hussar is amazing. I think the Obuk is a really, really good unit. Obuk and skirmishers, for example. You have Arbalest as well. Yeah, Poles, to me, are a very impressive civilization at the moment. And of course, it's still early days. But I think the more people play and the more you figure them out as well, Poles might even make a jump even higher. But I feel like they're comfortably A tier right now. You mine gold by mining stone as well, which is a funny mechanic. But either way. So, that's my tier list. Let me know what you think. Where would you do you disagree with anywhere I place civs? You can see I didn't place any D tier civs. I just don't think there is a civ that sucks anymore. We used to have a couple of civs like all the way down there, but you know, now I think we're reaching the point where all civs are quite viable and all civs have decent matchups and can be played in most scenarios. I did not order them within the tiers because I think it depends too much on the matchups, who they're playing against, and so forth. So, yeah, this is how I feel about the current 101 Arabia. This is recorded at the end of August 2021. So, a little bit after the Dawn of the Duke's release. If there's a balance change next week or 2 weeks from now, this list might change. I'll try to make more of these more frequent and give you guys my thoughts after balance changes. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Comment section. Let me know what you think, where I misplaced civs. If you would have put any other civs on S tier. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.